While the mayors are in Baltimore, several Republican presidential hopefuls are in New Orleans. They're attending a Southern Leadership Conference, and for more on that, let's go to CBS News political analyst John Dickerson, who's in New Orleans. Great to have you with us, John.
Good morning.
And one of the people there is Michelle Bachmann, the congresswoman from Minnesota. She made a big splash, a big impression earlier this week at the GOP debate. How is she doing there?
She's doing well. She was well received. She spoke yesterday a little bit longer than planned, but she was quite well received. You know, it used to be a liability to be in Congress, to be in Washington. A lot of the people who are running are governors or ex-governors. And for Michelle Bachmann, though, she's able to say, I'm in Washington, but I'm fighting against the establishment. And that allows her to get big applause. She was a couple of standing ovations, none more popular than when she said that she was the author of the Light Bulb Freedom of Choice Act, allowing people to pick whatever light bulb they want, not to have it mandated by the federal government.
In terms of those other Republicans who are there, who's getting the most enthusiastic response from the big powers in the rank and file Republicans?
Well, the folks who are here, the ones who are getting the big applause lines, you know, Herman Cain spoke. He's always quite well received in the room. Michelle Bachmann, as I said, Haley Barbour, who's not running and who disappointed a lot of Republicans because he's not running, got a thunderous applause. He made a very interesting case. He said to the assembled, look, purity in politics is a loser, and repeated Ronald Reagan's line that somebody who's with you 80% is your ally, not your 20% enemy. That's a message to Republicans that in this year, when they want to defeat Barack Obama, that they shouldn't get hung up on purity tests for their candidates. They should pick somebody who can unite the party and win in the general election. Yeah,
it's an interesting point. He also brought up the necessity of compromise in his comments. Jon Huntsman, someone who was planning on being there, the former governor from Utah, has worked in the Obama administration, pulled out because he's ill. He's expected to announce his run for president on Tuesday. How's that going to play with the Republican voters, given his background with the Obama administration?
It's a very tricky argument to make. He wasn't here. His wife came down and spoke at a private reception. He's sick, but it's probably a good thing that he wasn't here because he needs to sort of create a moment next week because he's quite far back in the polls. That's to be expected since he's a sort of new entrant into the race. But as you mentioned, he's got to make the case that he was in the Obama administration, but he also criticizes it. And he's got a lot of work to do because he's focusing his campaign largely in New Hampshire. Mitt Romney is doing very well there. And so Huntsman, who's trying to run as appealing to independents, as the kind of adult candidate in the race, nevertheless has to really go at that frontrunner Mitt Romney. And those two qualities may be in tension.
John Dickerson, as always, we appreciate it. So much to discuss here, obviously, and we'll continue the conversation very shortly. I'm certain of it.